shadows that I may see, glimpses of truth thou hast for me.
This last story in the epilogue, the last story we want to tell is about fungi, an astonishing organism that most people notice only by its fruit, which can just appear overnight in all kinds of ecosystems all over the world in a huge range of forms, colors, and sizes. Sometimes it disappears the next day, but as an organism, it travels continuously underground as almost invisible threads, seeking food, finding a way around obstacles, exchanging nutrients with plants, sometimes creating huge mats, swallowing up and digesting other organisms it meets. We've been captivated by the work of Merlin Sheldrake in his book, Entangled Life, How Fungi Make Our Worlds, Change Our Minds, and Shape Our Futures. Scientists' growing understanding of fungi both gives us a metaphor of how to understand human communities and may even teach us how to make better decisions and impact how we behave. One example is slime molds. These are creatures that have no brain or central nervous system, yet make decisions all the time by comparing possible courses of action and finding the shortest route. In experiments, these molds have found the most efficient route in models that have closely mirrored the same routes humans developed for Tokyo's rail system and the Roman roads of Central Europe. More than 90% of plants depend on fungi in some way, a relationship that was initially called symbiosis in the 19th century. But with more study of fungi, some scientists are describing some of those relationships as mutualism. By growing within the roots of plants, which make sugar and lipids through photosynthesis, fungi get fed. For their part, fungi are terrific foragers and can scavenge water and minerals underground that feed the plant. They must cooperate because each needs the other. Fungi have been shown to reward more cooperative plant partners, for example, supplying them more of the necessary carbon and phosphorus that they need to grow. One application of fungi holds unexpected hope for our world. Solid forms of fungi can learn to fill spaces prepared for them, forming walls or even buildings, creating protected spaces for displaced or homeless people, or for storage of supplies for as long as needed. Yet they are degradable when not needed, leaving no residue. Another application is in the fast-growing field of biocomputing. Fungi could use electrical signaling as a basis for rapid communication and serve as large-scale environmental sensors. For example, reporting changes in soil quality, water purity, pollution, or other hazards. More far-reaching is what this phenomenon does to our thinking. An organization called Radical Mycology argues that a better understanding of fungi has the power to change the way we think and imagine. It focuses us to asking disturbing and revolutionary new questions. Where do we stand in the hierarchy of intelligence? How different would our organizations and communities look if we held up the mutualistic behavior of fungi as a typical model of life forms, rather than competition, hierarchy, predation, parasitism, and survival of the fittest? This can still sound very theoretical, but in practical terms, it has to be at the heart of our understanding of mutuality, community, collaboration, prayer, and cycles of reflection and decision-making. The threads of discovery, sharing, deciding, and exchanging move steadily and inexorably under our feet and in our meetings and erupt into new fruit and forms and release more spores and ideas. We see in all of these stories reasons for hope. In a time, in a time when disasters, natural and human-made, can fill us with despair, we must lift up all those threads of courage and compassion that keep pushing their way from darkness to light, drawing on unknown reserves of ingenuity and bursting out in unstoppable newness and hope. This book is the contribution of Nancy and Rosemary and of Kimberly and all the people you have met in it, and many others too, to making sure you notice what is going on and is still growing. After we notice it, we all need to talk and reflect, then become part of it by active engagement, but also by changing our ways of thinking and dreaming and living. We will see you farther down the road, underground or over.
Glimpses of truth thou hast for me.